Hey guys, it's Jason again. I am going to show you today how to use Photoshop to go from this image to this image and really anywhere in between. I am a member of several Photoshop editing groups and photography groups, and from time to time people ask, how do I change the color of their clothes? And it's a pretty simple process, and I'm going to show you guys two different ways to do it. So let's go ahead and jump in. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate the background layer. Now the first way, both of these require a mask to be put on. And I'm going to show you guys quickly how the easiest way I think to do that. And that is to just come over and to grab your quick selection tool and then literally just start drawing around on the areas of the subject that you want to use. And then obviously if there's areas that you don't want, you hold down the Alt key and you delete those areas from your selection. And then literally all you have to do then is just come down here, click on the mask tool, and it creates a mask for you. Now, I will say this, that there are some deficiencies in the automated way of doing this. You're going to have to go in and you're going to have to do a little bit of refinement in that. And I have already done that on a separate layer. I've refined the mask just a little bit. Um, and so that's the one that we are going to work with today. And so the first method for changing the color is to use a hue saturation adjustment layer. And I'm going to go ahead and turn that on and go in here. And if you don't know, hue saturation adjustment layers are added by going down here and clicking on the half circle and then going to hue saturation adjustment layer and adding a new one on there. But this is what the interface looks like. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to grab this little finger right here, and then you want to make sure that your sample area is either 3 by 3 or 5 by 5. You don't want it on point because you could accidentally sample an off pixel or a bit of noise or whatever. So keep your sample size, but three pixels or 5 pixels. And then what I like to do is just pick an area in sort of the mid-tone area of your image. And if you'll notice over here, when you click the eyedropper, it gives you this zone over here of color. Now, once you've selected that zone, you can come up here and you can adjust the brightness of that color zone. Okay. You can adjust the saturation of that color zone, or, and this is what we're going to be doing here, let me reset these to zeros, we are going to be actually changing the hue of this selected color. And the reason that you want to have a mask is because your hue saturation adjustment layer is going to be a global adjustment. It's going to adjust the entire image. So if you don't have a layer mask on this, it will adjust your skin tones and background if you have any. And because red is prevalent in skin, it really can make a mess of things. So literally that's all you have to do. And then you can just pick whichever hue you want. So let's say that you're like, okay, I really like green, but that's a little too much lime green for me. You can adjust the hue of it. You can bring it down to a mint green, or you can darken it down to, a Kelly or a forest green or whatever. And this is just a super simple way of doing it. I use this when accurate color is not necessarily that critical. If you're just wanting a girl in a red dress to be a girl in a blue dress, this is a really simple way to do that. Now, the second way we do it is a lot like the first way, except that we then create a um, we create a solid color adjustment layer. And so for those of you, again, who don't know how to do that, you go down here to your adjustment layer pop-up and you go to solid color. and it creates, and then you get to pick and decide which color in here you want to start with, yada, yada, yada. I've already done that, and it's this blue layer down here, so that's the one we're going to work with. And so we have this solid color fill layer that is active here, and it is governed by the same mask that we used before. Now this is important if you really need to have accurate color, because you can go in and you can select a specific color number to go in here, and then as long as you have this layer set to blending mode of color, you get a pretty accurate representation. Now there's some things I need to do here. I'm still getting a little bit of red color cast on her arm here, and there's some fringing. So if this was client work, I would definitely go in and make some adjustments to that. But just for the sake of showing you guys how to do it, I think we're okay with that. And then you can literally just adjust this basically the same way that you did with the hue saturation adjustment layer. Obviously, if you move your color to the left, you get a lighter color. If you move your color to the right, you get a darker color. This is your saturation. I'm sorry, more saturation, less saturation, left to right. And then luminosity is top to bottom. So if you have up here, you get a pure blue, and if you're down here, it goes on into black. And the only, I'll say the only, but one of the deficiencies in doing it this way is if you go to 100% black, you're going to get gray. If you go to 100% white, you're going to get gray, just simply because it's basing this off of the color information that's in there. And I'll dig up some information for you guys if you need to go from a color to black or white. It's a lot more complicated, and there's some videos on YouTube that show it. But if that's something that somebody wants to see, I'll put together one of those videos. But this is just really a super simple way to change the color of something in your image. And the reason that I got on this is because there was a young lady in one of the groups who had a picture made with her boyfriend, and she wanted her sweater to match his, and so we were working on getting that done for her. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys a quick and easy way to take your image and go from, a basic color to another basic color in a couple of easy steps. Again, my name is Jason Collins. I recommend, or I suggest, or I hope, or I ask that you follow me on social media. I try to put out simple photography and photography edit. How about that one? I try to put out simple photography and digital media editing tips a couple of times a week. You can certainly find me on Facebook. Obviously, if you're watching this, you probably have seen some links already. I certainly believe that a rising tide lifts all ships. The better you get at photography, the better photography is for everyone. God bless you, and have a great day.